How are ladies and Gentlecars? And welcome to American Heritage Rails. Some of you might have woke up the last 36 hours and realized that 66 Salvage Restoration Speed Shop is not called 66 Salvage Restoration Speed Shop anymore. Well, one of the big reasons why is because the shop's closing. So, I want it to be about its American heritage and rails. So, about the railroad, I want to focus on the Illinois Central. I'm sitting down because I got you lower in the thingy here, in the mount. Right now, we're on what used to be one of the original main lines. Every once in a while, they'll put cars all the way down back that way. But yeah, so pretty much the shops after the beginning of the year, it's going to be no more. You know, life and bills, and I don't own the place, and 50% profits, and it's just, it's not a place to call home anymore for the shop. So, most of you know that I build guitars, and I left a few videos. I deleted like over 100 videos. So every once in a while they use these rails, every once in a while, but, yeah, from this point on, I want to focus on the Illinois Central Railroad. You know, of course, there's a lot with that. You had the nickel plate too, that was a part of Illinois. You know, you had the GM&O, IOO. There was so much involved. It wasn't just the Illinois Central Railroad. So a part of doing this video is to get y'all up to speed. There's why, and I'm moving on, I'm moving forward, and I want to do a lot of railroad stuff. Like I said, if I get stuff to fix and restore, that's why I put American Heritage in there. You know, if I can go paint a tractor, if I can do this, if I can do that, then, you know, I'll do it. The videos that I left on here that used to be 66 Salvage Restoration Speed Shop was just updating people on life was one of them. And then the other one was Because Race Car. Nice Jason and Tucker, we helped them build a nice race car, and I wanted to leave those on here because those are special. Everything else got deleted except for that, so I figured I'd do a new video. Plus, this is all going to be slow. You know, this is going to start out very slow. You know, I'm trying to find, you know, S scale, G scale, HO, N scale, all Illinois Central Model Railroad stuff. So nickel plate and GM&O and all that stuff. But stuff's not fully dead yet. As you can see, there's still stuff on the trees and all that. So I want to take you to what remains of the roundhouse, which isn't much. It's just stuff on the ground. And if you don't know what I'm going to point out, plus I have the original blueprints for it. So I've got not the actual like blueprint. I have the I can make it into a blueprint again, but I still have the original stuff for it. I just saved it as a picture. We'll go there, and then some parts of Atlanta where I grew up, and maybe Stanford. That stuff might have to wait till, you know, spring, summer of next year. But part of this little video, I'm trying not to make it too long, but I'm just getting people caught up to speed, and this is why the names changed, and this is what we're doing. So the first video in the first outing is why are we on tracks? Well, because I found this mall, Spike Mall. I found this feller. I followed the original blueprints to where one of the outbuildings would have been, that they would have repaired the locomotives, and all that stuff's like in rubble and all that. Well, I saw this sticking out, and I thought it was a piece of rail at first, the way that it was just kind of like this. So I thought it was rail, and once I dug it out, I knew exactly what it was. Cleaned this thing off, got it a new hickory axe handle, brand new handle, but I wanted to beat it up and just make it look aged, you know, make it look like it's been left out in the rain and all that stuff. You know, so playing archaeologist, it started racing in my mind. Who drove the last spike with this? What steam engine did this sit up against? What E unit or F unit before they tore it down? This thing's almost been in the ground for 50 years. Almost 50 years. And so I decided to give this thing a little touch before I stained it up. This is a honey stain. It's got a nice gloss poly coat on it. But I got my my wood burner out and I engraved it. Illinois Central Railroad. And then what I do when I build my guitars, I always put the cross and I put railroad on each side for that. And then I even did the other side. Just freehand. So it says Illinois Central Railroad. So this just got done, probably about 4 days ago. And I can't believe that we're almost a week and 4 days away from it being almost November already. 70s and 80s are supposed to return just for a quick blip. But it is a little chilly here in the 100-acre woods. So I figured I would bring this thing back out this time with you guys. We'll drive a few spikes, we'll talk for a minute, and I'll end the video. But bear with me. This is going to take some time to get stuff together. Also, my Instagram used to be 66 Salvage Restoration Speed Shop. That is now called, it'll say Braden American Heritage Rails. So follow me over on Instagram too. I just used my pages instead of creating new pages, and just renamed them, and we're going to go from there. Like I said, anything, railroad stuff, or, old tractors, anything like that. It's pretty much anything that fascinates me. That's why it's called American Heritage and Rails. So, this thing sounds really good once you get a groove going. So let me stand back since you guys are lower. I'll talk a little louder. We got the boom mic on. But, in movies, what was that? I used to watch it all the time. Hell on Wheels. In Hell on Wheels, you always seen guys go like this, and then bring it up like this, and go like this, and all this crazy stuff. That's how you break handles. It's pretty much using your back, using your arm power. So we'll start off with the little side here. Like some of these are up, so they need to be driven back down if the ties will still hold. So we'll get this started. Like that. Flip over the bigger side. And the other thing too is you don't normally want to stand like this, because you're gonna get your spikes uneven. Generally you're standing on this side of the rail or this side of the rail. I mean, you can do it like this, but back in the day these rails were skinnier. These were skinnier rails, they weren't as thick. So probably in photos you will see guys, standing like this, driving them in. But nowadays, you pretty much got to be on either side of the rail. Makes a nice ring-ping-ting is what it does. A ring-ping-a-ting. Sounds really good. So just like that. Now imagine, having 100+ guys on either side, getting this going. Jokingly you could sit there and be like, I'm working on the railroad, and have a have a downstroke. But, once Once you start going, though, I tell you what. Oh, this might have enough left. Get it started. Get it locked in a little stronger. Use your muscles and use gravity. Muscles and gravity are your friend, believe me. I can't tell you how many, the day I got this done, I came out here, started in town, and I can't tell you how many I did. I got sucked into it, and by the time I was done, my arm, it was burning. You could feel the muscle, and I'm like, Popeye arms, man. And Popeye was a real guy, by the way. He wasn't fake, he was real. He was a real feller, and he was a big feller. So that's why I say, that doing this, you imagine, you know, you imagine being 10, 12, 13 years old, and you imagine guys being in their 19 and, you know, 19, 20 years old, 30 years old, even guys in their 40s and 50s doing this. And you wonder why they could knock guys off a bar stool in a bar fight easily. It's because of swinging these guys. These ain't heavy, man. The handle is light as a feather, but this, I don't know how to put it on a scale. I think this one is either a 20 or a 30 pounder. I think they made them back in the day up to like, I think 50 pounds or something, but this is just solid. You know, you're not gonna find these anymore. You know, at railroad museums, but you know, you'd be lucky if you go to where your railroad once was and where your roundhouse once was, or, you know, work buildings from the 20s or 30s, and, you know, try to get a, I don't have a, thingamabob. So, it's just all eyeballing for me, and I got lucky and found this, and, you know, it's a showpiece to show people. But at the same time, you know, this is what they did in the 1800s, man. They drove these damn things down by hand. Nowadays, they got rail cars to pull them out and put them in and all that stuff. But, man, you got to use your arm power to drive these in, man. It's fun. It is super duper fun. That's dry rot. Yep, that one's rotten. That's fun. I could literally do this forever. But, you know, you guys get the point. I could sit here hours on end and make up songs in my head. And, you know, as you know, I build guitars too. American Heritage guitars. So, yeah. So, I also build cool guitars. But like I said, I want this to be, you know, interactive. Like I said, I'm trying to find, you know, S scale, G scale, O scale, N scale, anything anything Illinois Central, you know, or GM&O, or IOO, or nickel plate. You know, those are the biggest that came through here. My great-grandfather, Sweetie, used to drive the freight train. So I'm going to ask my grandma or my aunt, I can't remember which one has the photo of him hanging his head out the window of a GM&O F unit. And just the guy's happy as can be, man, wearing an engineer hat. That's another thing I'm trying to find. I've always wanted one. you know, if you guys want to go more in depth or whatever, we will, you know, drive more spikes and whatnot. I'll probably have to talk to Canadian National here in town. And if you don't know, Canada bought out Illinois Central Railroad, or AKA the Death Stars, as people would say, the last great years of the Illinois Central. Or you had the Diamond or the Green Diamond. But the last good years were called the Death Stars, because the front of the trains were black, and it had the white, like railroad tracks, or kind of like the IBM logo or whatever, and it looked like the, you know, the Death Star from Star Wars. If you're a Star Wars fan, you'd understand. I'm not a nerd like that, but I do like Star Wars. So I'm trying to end this video on a good note with you guys. We're already at 15 minutes. I'm not trying to make it too long. I want to walk you guys to my personal private spot where I come to reflect, I come to pray. You know, I have a walk and talk with Yah. So, you know, this is where I get all my ideas from. I come out here, you know, 3 to 5 plus miles out. I usually walk, there's a town called Wapella, and it's about 15 minutes from here. And I walk halfway there on these tracks. By myself. Not in the cold months, though, obviously. Just nicer times, but it decided to be like 50 degrees today, and we just went from 80s to 70s, and then all of a sudden, down to 50 degrees. It'd be that way for the next couple days. But you know what? It's not bad. I got another nice shirt on under this. So normally you guys usually see me with a cutoff on, but ain't that type of weather. But I want to show you guys my spot where I stand and I reflect on everything in life. And like I said, just, you know, pray on everything, and, you know, have a private chat with Yah, and just enjoy the view. It's usually silence, except for the animals. Occasionally I have a deer run out in front of me. We're getting that time of year where it happens more and more, actually. But yeah, this is just where I find my inner peace. It's where I get all my ideas for building guitars. And like I said, so American Heritage and Rails. I didn't want to put the asterisk sign or whatever the heck you call it, but it's just life. I'm trying to bring back the old things, trying to teach the new generation. So all those younger new whippersnappers, 10, 11, 12 years old. And for my girls, when they have kids, I want this stuff to be documented and out there. So normally I keep walking that direction, and there's a bend around that other way, probably about another mile and a half. About a half a mile, actually, now I'm looking at it, not through the camera. But this is my other favorite spot, guys. This is where I stand and I reflect. And I look out to nature, look across the land, and just admire the view. So this is where I reflect. I'll stand right there, or I'll come down in here. Guys, about ready to get that field tilled up. Down this way. Let's just walk down here for a minute. Like I said, try not to make this video too long. We're already at, so I'm falling 19 minutes. When this field is gone, we'll probably have to wait to do this with you guys in January. Well, depends on snow, or March. But this field right here, it's not gone yet. This year it's corn. Last year it was beans. But right down here, I don't know what you guys can see. Right by that tree. Right by that tree. Right, yep, right there. There are some plates down there that I dug up. They were too heavy to carry. But those plates, there used to be a retarder out here. All this field. Because back this way, here, let me point that way. You see houses back there? All of that used to be a part of the roundhouse in town. So all this out here was for freight. So there's some retarder plates that would have slowed the trains down, like when you go to build a train, and it would squeeze the plates, the retarder plates. I found those in their exact spot, and there's some other relics down there. There's some other relics inside of here, but all that has to wait until that's all dead and gone again. And then out this way, out here, there's a guy who owns, he dumps a bunch of crap. But all this too, all the way out there towards Wapella, there's some footing stuff left. There used to be another workstation out here where they used to work on and build the cars, build the steam engines. All that stuff's been long gone and dynamited and all that crazy stuff. But I have a lot I want to do, so bear with me. I have a lot I gotta find. I'm sorry about the wind. It's windy, more windier out here than it is in the city. Well, it's not the city, it's a farm town, but hey. So just bear with me. I gotta get stuff together. I'm gonna go up to the library. So please follow Braden, American Heritage Rails, on Instagram. I'm gonna do a live from there. Maybe tomorrow's Tuesday. I believe today's the 19th of October. I think. Or I don't remember. Whatever day of October it is. But either way, from today, we're about a week and 4 days, 5 days away from it being November already, while filming this. So I have a lot I want to do, so bear with me. This is probably going to be the only video for a while. But please follow him, Braden American Heritage Rails, on Instagram, which used to be my 66 Salvage Restoration Speed Shop. Like I said, I just changed everything over. So just bear with me. I want to show a lot of different photos. And like I said, all of that. And if you want your grandkids or, your chillins, I can get more in depth and get this thing I've got you mounted in higher or lower. And we can drive some more rails here before it gets way too cold where I got to wear a jacket, and that's just going to bug me. But just let me know. So, it's about history. It's about preserving history. And, Americans had a dream. And a lot of Americans helped build these rails. Some of my family helped build them. I'm sure a lot of other people's family helped build the Illinois Central Railroad, and GM&O and nickel plate and all that. Or just across the country, Pennsylvania, helped with the steel mills, Bethlehem, a lot of stuff all over the U.S. about building. A lot of these places were built and finished before the Transcontinental Railroad ever was done. Let that sink in for a minute. There used to also be a tram line that ran here, this side of the bushes. Used to be a tram line that ran right alongside the railroad. Used to go right through town here in Clinton, actually. There's a lot of videos on it and stuff on here on the YouTubes, which is where this is going. But yeah, guys, so if you want to see more stuff, and I just want to make this interactive. I want this to be, about family and history. That's why it's called American Heritage and Rails. It's not just, choo-choo stuff. Toot, toot. It's not just that. Like I said, if it's about going back to, old Alice Chalmer tractors and Case International. Actually, it was called International. But now it's, but yeah. And old John Deere's, all that kind of stuff, let me know. And I'll try to get into contact with some people, and we'll do a thing. I just want this to be fun. I want this to be interactive. It's about having fun with each other, and a lot of us love history out there. I know that sounds nerdy and geeky and all that, but a lot of us, love our history and take pride in what what our ancestors once did, what our family members once did, our great-great-grandparents and great-great-great-great-great, uncles and all that stuff. So, that's kind of what I want to make all this about, and of course, just shedding light about the railroad. Especially Illinois Central. I don't think it gets its just dues from, the 1800s and the 1920s through the 1950s and 60s and 70s. I don't think it gets its due, because now, they're tearing down way stations, and they're tearing down, you know, roundhouses, and they're tearing down this, and they're tearing down that, and there's nothing left but foundations sometimes. Or sometimes just not at all. But I love you all. Thank you all so much for love and support. I hope you guys enjoy this little video. Yeah. And if you want to see more driving spikes with the Spike Mall, let me know, because I enjoy it. I enjoy doing it myself, and, you know, start singing songs and all that. So, but yeah, guys, like I said, also follow American Heritage Guitars. See, I can do my own plugs, because I can't. I'm building some awesome guitars, folk art to some people, not just CBGs or cigar box guitars, but folk art to some people. But yeah, there you go in a nutshell, guys. Like I said, I love you all. Thank you all so much for love and support. And if you want to reach out to me, please reach out over Instagram. You know, like I said, Braden American Heritage Rails, or please reach out to American Heritage Guitars on Instagram. Talk to me, all that fun stuff. And like I said, you know, let's just all make this a thing. So since it's getting fall season, how about we all grab a hay bale, grab some shine, sit around by the fire, or sit around a nice rocking chair, and let's all brainstorm and have fun together, huh? All right? So come on. Come with me. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Let's go to work. Well, are you coming? Are you coming? Are you coming or what? Are you coming with me? Well, let's go, guys.